Well, good morning, everybody. It's Travels with Dottie coming to you from boondocking in the desert outside Quartzsite, Arizona. It's in the southwest corner of Arizona, about half an hour from California and about an hour from Mexico. That's where we are. And the weather today, it's 47 degrees outside at 6:14 a.m. And today's high is 65, a low of 43. Totally sunny day. Winds are mild today and over the next 10 days. I don't see anything over 10 miles per hour. Temperatures are in the high 60s to low 70s. Boy, you see that stretch from, look at that stretch from Wednesday the 18th through a couple days after Christmas through the 27th, and it's a steady 71, 72, 77. It's either 71, 70, 71, or 72 for the highs, and it's either 46 or 47 for the lows. And mild winds, perfect. I love everything about that. Now, let's get going on today's comments. Where did they go? My Nomadic Dream, that's my buddy Herbie. He's a fellow YouTuber. He has a great channel. Check his My Nomadic Dream is his. Check him out. He does some good quartzsite stuff. He says, I'm envious. It was on my chili cheesesteak and quartzsite video from yesterday. And he said he's envious. I've been wanting to try the Philly, but every time I go by, they're closed. And Bill Wright responds to him and says, maybe your local group members camp nearby should coordinate food runs. By the way, Herbie, love your channel too. I'm a fan for sure. So I think if you like my content, you're going to like Herbie's, maybe even more. He puts a lot of work into his channel and does a lot of really good videos. I watch him. So, and Herbie responds, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. All right. Now we have Bill Wright saying, I absolutely love the camera mounted on the hood videos. It's like riding in the truck with you and Dottie. I can almost smell the Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Thank you for always upgrading our video experiences. Well, it's a good thing I'm a gadget nut, so I'm always buying new stuff, trying new things, trying to make it bigger, better, different, because it's kind of a hobby. Sooner JH Travels. Hey, that's Steve from Desert Adventures in Arizona at the very end of the end of the movie. She's the Real Deal is a positive news video yesterday about a real life Rosie the Riveter who just turned 100. And Ken Gray says, that's inspiring. Aya Shoop, your videos have become a peaceful moment in my day that I look forward to. I've heard about the Q crud. Hope you feel better soon. I live in Morongo Basin near Joshua Tree. Due to heavy influx of new residents and tourists, when it's windy, it's sandstorm dusty, just like in Quartzsite. High particulate pollution from the land being distributed might be one reason for the Q crud. Fungi spores. Yeah, absolutely. It happens every year. And I'm over it. I'm fine. It was 24 hours. I was feeling achy, tired, but I'm good now. Judy Jennings says, your sandwich is making me hungry and there's nowhere near time for me to eat. I think I can just smell that sandwich. It looks absolutely delicious. Take care. And Billy on the same, Billy V510 has a heart for that video. On the comments video, SoCom says, bet it's crowded 500 feet of them toilets. Well, there's a lot of those toilets. It's not that crowded. There are vault toilets out here in La Posa South. There's no one around them. So you got plenty of options. You can be part of ones that are closer to the entrance or more crowded. You can be part of that community. I have a listener who did that, and he made friends immediately, and he's been having a great time. Ken says, I think you just gave me the final clue. I tend to get tired and achy from time to time, and your experience combined with the same feeling tells me it may be caused by lower humidity. I was feeling a bit logy for a couple of days, and the humidity here was very low. Today I feel fine. It's 48. Could be. My wife and I just drove by there, the cheesesteak, just drove by there wondering how it was. Thanks for the review, and we'll check it out before we head down to Yuma. Let's see. Life happens. I'm not sure if you tried Kohinoor Dhaba, the Indian restaurant in town. Never heard of it. My cousin lives here and says she hasn't been to it. Located near Love's. Decided to see if it's actually open 24/7, and it is. The reviews at 4.9 out of 5. I want to see if over 500 truckers could be wrong. Ordered chicken biryani, spicy, for about 15 bucks. They had tables, but I think it's more of a takeout place. I can say the 4.9 is well earned, and if you like spicy, that's the way to go. Other choices mild. They're almost too much to eat in one sitting, so it'd be easy to eat half and save the rest for another time if you have refrigeration. I highly recommend it. Well, life happens. You sold me. I'm going to check it out. Especially if they have big portions and I get 2 meals for 15 bucks, I'm there. Quartzsite Comments, Lunds at Large. Our favorite retirement story, RV travel, was about a guy in his hospital bed treated for cancer. Everyone who visited him said going to the Black Hills was on their bucket list. When he got all clear, he quit his job, bought an RV, and 5 years later, none of his visitors had gone so much as a weekend trip. He's living the dream. Living the dream, not leaving the dream. JB, I'm watching so many YouTube videos on different subjects about all aspects of boondocking. The more I watch, the more info I retain. I have 15 months to be houseless. Good for you, JB. It's JBEE 5258. Ken Gray says cheesesteak looks good. It was, Ken. Dottie approved. Trauma 2803. I love watching them when you do your town runs. I started my journey as a full-time RVer, and watch your videos have helped me feel better about Quartzsite. I'm hoping to make it out in January. Not sure if you noticed you dropped something when at the Philly cheesesteak place. Yeah, about 10 people said something, and I finally just started deleting the comments. It got ridiculous. And I looked at it. Yeah, I probably dropped a dollar bill. Stuff happens, you know. Stuff happens, but usually there aren't hundreds of people watching you and pointing it out to you when you do it. Mistakes happen. Autistic train. Random thing, you know you're interested in water testing. I was driving out of La Posa South around 7 a.m. today. At the water fill station at the dumpster side, there was a guy with plastic sample bottles and a work truck with some type of signage on it. It looked like he was getting water from each of the spouts. Yeah, I'm sure that's the BLM doing their job. Life happens again. Going to try and view the Gemini meteor shower tonight, even though the peak is 13th and 14th. It's going to be cloudy those days. Best viewing when the moon sets about 4:30 in the morning. Well, I missed it by 2 hours. Damn. Virginia Hankey. I don't normally like to comment on people's appearance, but I just wanted to say this. You really look terrible. I'm kidding. She didn't say that. Since somebody else did, a good work of art includes color and contrast. She said red gases, but she meant glasses. Red gases. Red glasses provide color, and coming in nicely, beard provides the contrast. Well, that's a nice compliment. I hope my joking about it didn't bother you. I get it. You can tell maybe I'm. Oh, she corrected it. Put glasses. You know you can edit those. I found that out. I didn't know right away, but you can hit the little 3 dots next to the bottom of it, and you can go in and edit your comment. But she meant glasses. And I guess part of my joking is I get a little embarrassed by compliments, but it's a nice compliment, Virginia. Thank you. Virginia Hankey says, just my 3 cents worth. Inflation. It's like, I thought it used to be a penny for your thoughts. I guess it's gone up to 3 cents. David Workington. Good morning. I asked you a question on your website, honestly not expecting an answer. I got a great answer. Very impressed. My wife and I are in our first year of our being and plan to dip our toe in the Quartzsite water in early February. Maybe we'll see you. Have a great day and Christmas. Dave. Well, thanks, Dave. Ken Gray says, James Spader played the role of Jason Hankey. He was invited to the role by Jerry Seinfeld himself. There was the Virginia Hankey was teaching me the other day how to say her name. I think I was pronouncing it Hank. It's Hanke. And she said she was teased about her name. And I remembered a Hankey, Jason Hankey, was a character on Seinfeld played by James Spader, and they were teasing him about his name as well. Where in New Mexico for the summer? Thanks, Michael A. That's Michael Addington, 1447 in Eagle Nest, New Mexico, at least for this year. Mike Dillon, looked like you dropped some cash on the ground, and there's one I missed when you got your Philly. I get it, Mike. Lots of that would just really strike. I think it struck kind of a fundamental nerve in people to see someone drop. Apparently, it was money, because I carry my money in a money clip, and I was pulling out money to do the tip and to just pay for the sandwich, and obviously a bill. Who knows what denomination? Someone said you dropped your 50. Well, the 50s were gone. I got it. The last one changed at Patty's. So at the most, it was a 10. I don't think I even have any 20s anymore, but it was probably $1. That's the most. Either way, I think it triggers something in people that you see someone do that and you're helpless because you're seeing it, but you can't say, hey, you dropped $1 because it's on the screen. It's in the past, and you know someone's picked up that bill and said, hey, look, I look at it this way. I've picked up lots of bills on the ground that I got to keep because there was nobody around and somebody just dropped money. So what goes around comes around, you know. I drop one, I find one, I drop one. That's the way it works. Lori Roar, hey Lori, looks like my kind of place. Yummy camera view was great. M. James, hey Rob, been watching and listening to your videos for a while and enjoy them very much. On your CarPlay stereo, confirm you have Wi-Fi turned on too. My aftermarket CarPlay head unit needed so both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connect. Good day, keep up the great videos. Great suggestion. For me, I have a SIM card in my unit, so I don't need it. It actually reads the SIM card and gets the connection. And I think I've licked the problem. For some reason, maybe I have a camera that I can connect on Bluetooth, and I think it's got maybe the exact same channel as that, and I can't do them both at once. So I've stopped doing the camera. It's not necessary for me to do the camera since I've stopped doing the camera. It connects on its own every time. I've known about Virginia Hankey. I've known about Rosie for years, but was delighted to see this. Thank you so much. Reminds me of Hidden Figures. Rosie the Riveter was symbolic of the women that stepped into factory roles during World War II when the men were going off to war. And this was not, light, easy factory work. This was heavy duty, serious factory work for the war machine that was gearing up. Bombs, planes, tanks, jeeps, everything you can imagine. And women stepped up and did the job. And Rosie the Riveter was a fictional character in a poster, I believe. I don't think she was a real person, but you know who will check that out and let me know in the comments. If you've been around for a while, you know who I'm talking to, and you know who I'm talking to. But I put the poster in the thumbnail to show you, and part of the video it's in there too, to show you that Rosie the Riveter poster. Iconic. John Montalbano of Philadelphia Competition had the broccoli rab and mozzarella cheesesteak as the winner. Unique combination, I'll say. I like broccoli and I like mozzarella. Sure to rain. Since one can buy a BLM permit in any office in Campanile area, I would think it would be impossible to have an accurate count for a specific area. Glad to hear that subscriptions don't add much to your channel, so I must confess that I do not subscribe. The reason being that if I subscribed to all your videos, it would show up in my subscription folder, which is already overloaded. I do watch your daily videos and give them a thumbs up as I find them entertaining and informative. The Philly cheesesteak looked delicious. Not a true Philly cheesesteak. It did not have whiz, the cheese sauce. It's like cheese whiz in a can kind of thing, I think. The cheese sauce used by Philadelphia cheesesteak shops. It's probably not brand name cheese whiz, but it's similar. And yeah, it's okay if you don't subscribe. If you Sure to Rain doesn't subscribe, but if you watch my videos every day, guess what? It does. It boosts my video far more than someone just subscribing, because what the system looks at is what you're watching, how much you're watching, how much of each video you watch, and how many you're watching. And that's the best thing you can do for a channel that you're excited about or you like. Brendan, I became a nomad 9 months ago, and I came from Philly, literally, and had a cheesesteak yesterday, and it's pretty good for an Arizona truck. There's a compliment. A Philly person that says it's pretty good for a Philly, for an AZ truck. I'll take that compliment all day long. Philly, they use Amorosa rolls from Philly. This detail matters. I've always said that the linchpin, the key to a good sandwich is the right bread. Brendan, you're good. Thank you for that. James, new subscriber, started watching this video because of your calm voice, my pastor's voice, and stayed because of your excellent content. I hit the alert bell, so I'll be sure to enjoy more of your videos. Have a great Philly cheesesteak day. Well, thank you. I bought the big one. I cut it in half, gave Dottie a little taste of the meat, ate half for dinner, and then reheated the second half the next day for lunch. On The Real Deal, the Rosie the Riveter, Aya Shope says, thank you. Naj says, great story. May God bless her. My mom grew up in that area. She always told me you can do anything you want. It might be difficult, but you can do it. Never give up anything. Traveling with Paul, the Bose noise canceling headphones are the best. I heard that even, a really reputable reviewer of the what I'm getting, the Apple, AirPods 2 Pro or whatever, said it's really second to the Bose, but I really like the instant integration with Apple, so that's why I'm going that way. But you're not wrong, Paul. Traveling with Paul. Spider, here's a really valuable comment from me, and I'm going to talk about this for a minute. Spider says, careful, onions on the cheesesteak, not good for dogs. And I said, good safety tip. Now, this got me thinking. There's some people that, I'll say, I take XYZ medication, and I'll get that's bad for you, and it bothers me, right? And I think what bothers me is anytime someone says you're doing something unhealthy or you're doing something wrong, the first thing I do is check out what they're saying. They could be right. I've drilled that into me. No matter how outrageous something that someone says, they could be right. So check it out first. The ones that bother me are the ones that are not based in science. Somebody saw something on somebody's YouTube channel. Some doctor said something on one YouTube channel, and then they're putting it out there, spreading it into the misinformation in social media. Well, in this case, there was no doubt. Onions are toxic to dogs. I had no clue. It wasn't just one source. It was just up and down the pages. Yeah, it's universally accepted by science that dogs do not react well. I knew about chocolate for sure. I knew a big dose of chocolate could kill a dog. But the same is with, it seems like about the same thing with onions. So I really value these kinds of comments. But if you're making a comment telling me, like somebody said, peas hurt your dog's kidneys, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And I checked and I couldn't find anything. And finally a veterinarian hopped on the channel and said, that's not true. So the comments that caused me to run in circles trying to figure out if you're giving me valuable information or not, those aren't helpful. But Spider 7102, appreciate that. Thank you. And rest assured, my best memory is I was sitting here in the chair and I took a little pinch full of the meat, and there was hardly any onions in the sandwich at all. And I don't think there was any at all in the pinch of meat. And Dottie's fine. But I could have made a big mistake down the road, right? And now I'm not going to because of you. Wendy Sosa, Dottie was demanding you share. She's so cute. My Yorkie Ace does the same thing. sparking me, letting me know when she wants some, especially when I'm cooking. Captain Max. I've had a few of those cheesesteak sandwiches. I did the Arizona Nomad thing for almost 10 years. Next, you need to go to Lily's in Parker. Great little Mexican family place. Have the Nacho Supreme plate. You won't be disappointed. It might be grande, but I think it's supreme. Captain Max, thank you. I've got some friends of mine coming from Kansas in a couple of weeks here, and they took, when I came to New Mexico, they took me out to dinner at a great Mexican place in we were staying in Eagle Nest, and I can't think of the name of the town, but they took me up to a great Mexican restaurant in a town a ways from there. And I want to return the favor. I'm going to take them to Lily's in Parker. You know what? I need to put that in my notes, because I won't be able to find this again. So we are new notes, Lily's in Parker. So I will take Charlie and Diane. You hear that? If you're listening, Charlie, I'm going to take you to dinner up in Parker. Douglas, I could eat that whole thing. Looks yummy. Thanks, Douglas. Pete Diaz, that is some good quality meats. Don't mind paying for that. And that was, I think I was showing the meat counter in Coyote Fresh there. They do have great meats. And someone told me a while ago, if you want better meats than Coyote Fresh, then you have to travel at least 100 miles. I don't doubt that. I don't know that it's true, but I don't doubt it. Naj says on the Philly cheesesteak, hey, Rob, Dottie, and George, thank you for the trip to town. I always enjoy the company and the views. Yum, yum, give me some. I think Dottie deserved a bigger piece. Sia of Claiborne says, do you live there full time? And I said, no, just another seasonal camper. And Clue, hi, Rob, I can't wait to hear your review of the AirPods. I've been seeing some videos about them. Hope you're feeling better soon. Yeah, I'll do a review on the AirPods, see if they help my hearing, and I'll tell you what else I find out about them. Let's see. The only reason I never bought them, it's a white thing in your ear and this post sticks out. And I think you look foolish. But I'm going to be one of those guys. I would think after a while they'd find a way to get rid of that post, but I guess here's my guess, and I don't know, is that for really good reception on Bluetooth, you have to have an antenna, and I'm assuming that stock is the antenna that pulls the Bluetooth signal very strongly and solidly. If you know differently, tell me. In regards to my previous comment, boring, you mentioned you were boring. I do not find you boring at all. I really enjoyed your videos and look forward to seeing them each day. Well, Naj, it wasn't, I knew what you meant, but I think you typoed boarding, and I was kind of laughing about that, but I knew you meant boring. Bill Wright, I really appreciate the weather report at the beginning of the comment video. And that was a suggestion of the listener where, it'd be nice if you said the weather. I think maybe I might have been saying the temperature, but I talked about this before. Initially, I was, I don't like to be told what to do. Why? And then I thought about it and said, well, there might be some value in what she's telling me to do. And I looked carefully. She said, she's not telling you anything, Rob. She's suggesting. So, put on your big boy pants and maybe make a change. And I did. I'm so glad I did. The whole comment video thing was not my idea. That was Charlie and Diane. Charlie watches Rusty and said, Rusty does that. I think you should do it too. And I looked at Rusty's channel. I looked at it. Saw there were quite a few other YouTubers doing the same thing. I said, what a great way to connect with your audience. And that was a suggestion from a listener. Philly cheesesteak, A bus and PYR, A bus and a pyre. I drove by your place yesterday and started to head into that wash in my 39-foot bus and said, oh man, not trying that wash. Did you see where Class C was stuck in the wash between north and south? Wrecker pulled him out. Yeah, I have a picture of it, actually. I put it in one of the videos you're going to be seeing in the next couple of days. Heating my RV boondocking in Quartzsite. So I got to give it, like the weather, I have to give an update on let's see. I need to give an update on the number of views on this crazy heating my RV boondocking in Quartzsite. Give you an update on how many views there have been so far, because this just blows my mind. Now, if you're new with me, keep in mind, if I get 1,000 views on a video, I'm like, good to go. I'm good to go. 2,000, I'm thrilled. Anything over 3,000, 4,000, I'm like, wow, what's going on here? But meeting my RV boondocking site I posted 3 weeks ago right now is at, drumroll please, 33,402 views and still going. Crazy. And Hustle or Life is solar generator and an electric blanket. Yeah, that you're saying, well, why didn't you put that in there? Because that's not something I've tried. All I did was I did a video about in chronological order all the heating things that I've tried and where I've settled right now. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to be next year. I'll do a video and go. And I ended up with a power station, a solar generator power station, and an electric blanket. That's probably the most efficient from a cost-wise and practical-wise that there is. So, just in case you're 99% of you are going to know exactly what he's talking about, but in case you're really new to this, a solar generator is just, it's a lithium battery in a box that has self-contained in it the components to plug in a solar panel that you put outside. It charges the battery. It also has components in it to convert that battery energy that's 12 volts into 120 volt AC. And there are plugs where you can plug appliances into it in the front. And so what they're saying is charge up one of those boxes, bring it inside at night, plug your electric blanket into it, and they're ones on like medium or low, which is usually all you're going to need. That, depending on the size of that solar generator, it'll last all night. And then when you get up in the morning, put it back outside, plug it into the solar panel, let it charge all day, and start the whole thing over again. Easy peasy. ET Insulation 865. Thank you for your review on Robin's Roost. That's the cheesesteak place. We're headed to Idaho for holidays. We'll be back first week of January. We'll also be at the big tent. Have a Merry Christmas. I can't wait for the big tent. All right. Quartzsite Comments. Chuck Brewington says, sounds like a great life for you. I'm blessed that finances are much less of a concern for me than some others. Can't go there yet. There are drawbacks to marrying much younger than oneself. So I think what Chuck means is probably he married someone younger that's still working and, can't work online. So he has to wait for the spouse for retirement. But I'm sure it's worth it. I'm sure it's a wonderful person you're with. Michael, good morning, Rob. I've seen that Quartzsite has mobile trucks to pump out your trailer. Do these trucks go out to boondocking areas? Do you know the cost? Yes, they do. I've seen them. I've known people that have used them. I think it's somewhere close to, they come out, fill your fresh water, empty and flush your tanks. I think it's close to $100, somewhere between $80 and $100. And they do come out to where you're boondocking. Ricky Racer, great video. I'm building out my rig right now and hope to join the fleet next season. How exciting. That's going to be all today. And if you're interested in Quartzsite videos Right up here is going to be the playlist for over 200 Quartzsite videos. So every question that you have is probably answered in there somewhere. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.